Hey, I'm Cams Campbell and you're watching Live in Inspiration, a place of innovation to help you discover your genius and live a life of excellence. Today we have an amazing woman who has not only created an academy to reach loads of women to help them with their life and discover their possibilities and greatness, but she's also featured her own book that discovers exactly where Ashdon Jazz Academy came from and also the trials and tribulations and breakthroughs that she has overcome. Thank you so much, Trisha, for coming on board today.
Hello.
So we want to know more about the concept behind and what has inspired you to create Ashdon Jazz Academy.
Okay, well, my story really begins November 2014 when tragically my 14-year-old daughter ended her own life. As a parent, as a mother, it's unbelievable, an experience that you would never have imagined would ever happen to you and happen to your daughter or happen in your family, and it was devastating, to say the least. As a result of this journey, and as part of this journey towards sort of making some sort of sense of everything, really, I thought to myself, there must be other hurting young females out there who need to have not necessarily somebody different to talk to, a neutral body to talk to sometimes, which will help. As parents, often we think we know so much about our children, and it's not everything our child can come and want to disclose to us. And although I had a good relationship with my daughter, and I felt she told me everything, that unfortunately sometimes as parents and as children, no, you don't tell your parents everything for fear of parents sort of worrying about what the parent may do in regards to the issues that they may be experiencing, troubles at school, complexities, etc. And so I just felt that my role following on from this tragedy was to provide a service for young females, really, who needed to have a listening ear and who needed to sometimes realise that there were other solutions than taking your own life. And also for them to realise that they have great potential. My daughter's 14 and she was a formidable character. There's people that speak about her, well, when you speak about her in general, anybody that's who knew her cannot talk about her without having a smile on their face or even having some a laugh, because she's one of those characters that she was just formidable. And I just felt that for somebody so precious and for this to end so tragically, something beautiful has to come out of something so tragic. And obviously through sort of that particular incident, I then decided that I wanted to start some sort of a charity that will enable young females to be able to draw on our services and support them when they needed it, really. So that's how the Ashdon Jazz Academy came about.
Lovely. And so I know that you said briefly upon the services that you provide, so could you go a bit more into that?
Okay, so the services we provide a one-to-one listening service. So we have trained mentors who have dedicated their time to meeting a particular young female who may be experiencing a wide range of issues, family breakdown, relationship complexities at school with her peers, maybe eating disorders, self-harming, just a young person, young female who just needs a little bit of extra support, somebody just to listen to them on a one-to-one basis and meet with them once a week for an hour is one of the services we provide for our young ladies. We also host a number of workshops for young people, again to realise their potential and their talent, and for them to see themselves in the future, which is something that I believe, you know, I'm very passionate about. That, you know, I feel that sometimes as young people, they don't necessarily have that long-term picture of themselves in the future, and we host workshops for young people to look at themselves and evaluate and visualise themselves in the future and where they want to be in sort of 5 years' time, 10 years' time, etc. And we also hold focus workshops where we meet with young girls in small groups, and we ask them a number of questions, things that have come up, issues, you know, and they feed back to us. For example, you know, what is it like growing up as a teenager in London? What are you experiencing? What support do you need? What services do you need? And we kind of go around and we do these in focus group sessions, and that then feeds into our workshops and our seminars that we then provide for the young people.
So how do you reach your audience?
Well, mainly via social media. We have a very large following Ashdon's death. We have a number of, she had a very large following, and people have just been in contact with us. We've got them on lots of different social medias, and just we have Facebook, Twitter, those type of things. So we have a mailing list for our charity. We have our website as well. So we have a host of different medias really, where we kind of keep in contact with people and let people know what we're doing and what the charity is doing at the time. Yeah.
Nice. And in regards to funding, how do you keep yourself afloat? Because I know that you said that you're a charity, so how?
Yeah, we are a charity. That's probably been one of the hardest things really, is the funding aspect of it. We've hosted a number of different fundraising events which have been so well supported by family and friends, and just people in general have come on board. So we have been carrying out fundraising events, and we've helped quite a few since the charity have opened. Again, but we are sort of having to apply for funding and seek out funders and sponsors to kind of keep the charity running and provide the service, the much needed and well valued service that we want to provide for our young females.
So what has been the most beneficial feeling or movement that has come about now that you've actually created your idea into reality?
Yeah, I mean, the beneficial thing has been when the young people come and attend, and the young females attend, and they give us feedback and they give us evaluation, and they say to us, gosh, you know, this is well needed, thank you for you've listened to us. And in particular, when we have gone and done our focus group sessions and the young people have said this is what they need, this is what they want, and then for it to actually be actioned and for me to provide a workshop which incorporates everything that they've said, I think has been, you know, they find beneficial. On top of that, we've now had, on our recent Girls Summit, we've had 7 girls who have signed up to us to be ambassadors for the charity, which has been amazing. And, you know, we are sort of very excited about that, and we will be taking this forward, and we'll be training the girls as ambassadors and youth representatives of our charity.
So in regards to the woman behind this academy and the book as well that we're going to go into discussion about, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you going to continue pushing on forward with helping all these women out there who are in need of such a great academy as this?
Yeah, well, I mean, as I said, my daughter was a very formidable character, and I can just constantly hear in my voice saying, come on mum, you've got to do this. I've handed you this baton. I need you to keep going for me. I need you to help other people, you know, who struggled. And she was, that's really what pushes me on, just the memory of my daughter, knowing that I would not want, number one, another parent to experience such a tragedy. I wouldn't want a young person to feel that there was nobody that they felt they could turn to. And you know, and sort of disclose or, you know, express how they were truly feeling. And that's kind of the main thing that spurs me on, as well as I have a very strong faith. So even despite what's gone on, and I know when it happened initially, I was very, very angry at everything and everyone and anybody and everything. And you question lots, you know, you're questioning. But I feel that, you know, I have now got back in contact with my spirituality, and I feel that's another thing that has spurred me on to keep going. Yeah.
Fantastic. And so going on to the book that you have, which is "Imma miss you already," which I guess is something that your daughter used to say.
That was her closing. That was her words that she left before.
Wow.
That was her last sentence that she left as a message for her friends and family. Was "Imma miss you all." And that was her final words before she took out her life. Right. So I felt that it was only fitting to her to actually, express that we were going to miss her as well. So yeah, it was just from that really why I sort of titled it, because she is very well missed. Yes. And
in this book, I know it covers a lot about memories. And who was your market audience when you decided to create this book? Who did you want to actually read?
To be perfectly honest, it wasn't even a book that I was creating for anybody.
Wow, okay.
The Friday before my daughter passed away, we had a conversation. We every other Friday we always used to go out, takeaway, and we sat in the takeaway, and she was chatting away quite happily, merrily, about all the different things, and she said to me, "Mum, I'm going to be a poet when I get older." And I said to her, "Wow, that's amazing." And she said to me, "Yes, I'm going to be a poet, and I'm going to have a drum in the background, and as I'm doing my poetry, there's a man, he's going to be banging the drum." And then she said to me, "Mum, you used to write poetry, didn't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I did, many years." "And what made you stop?" And I said to her, "Well, busy, career, motherhood." I said, "It's, just got busy, Ashton, very busy. I didn't really know why I stopped. I just stopped. As for just life and complexity." And she said, "Oh no," she said, "I really think you should start back again, because I think your poetry was lovely, because you'd obviously read my poetry that I'd done many years ago." And I said, "Oh Ash," and just sort of put it aside. And then obviously after she died, I don't know, you replay everything when you have that experience, that tragedy. You replay everything to see if there's anything that would have given you clues, and I don't know, the conversation about her, me writing the poetry just kept on coming through, and very often after it happened I wasn't able to sleep, etc., and I'd wake up at different times, the hours of the morning, and I just found myself writing poems, and it was just as easy as, I can't even explain it, it's really supernatural really. It was just, I would just get a thought in my head and I would just write, and I would just find that I'd written a poem in the space of a night. And it was really just for me, for my own sort of healing process. And then as I kind of started to share a couple on Facebook, and I then have people who have also lost children who said, "Oh my God, this is so amazing, this is just brilliant, this is something that's really inspired and touched me." And then I realised, that as I was writing it, it wasn't just for myself, it was for other people, and it was to help and inspire other people that, that this is a way of expressing your grief, this is a way of expressing yourself through such a tragedy. And I just carried on, and before I knew it, I'd created a book.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it really is for bereaved parents, and not just for bereaved parents, just say to them, look, this is a channel that you can use to hold on to your child's memory, because I feel that it encapsulates and holds on to Ash's memory. But it's also, people have said to me how it just reminded them about themselves as parents. And some of the stories I speak about, they said, "Oh my goodness, there's a story, there's a part in it where I spoke about Ashton's pictures and paintings at her nursery, and I kept everything. I was one of those parents that keep everything, hoards and hoards." And and one of the parents said to me, "Do you know what? I felt so bad." She said, "I throw away all my child's paintings. I don't necessarily keep all their work." And she said, "No, I read the story, and I'm going to make sure that I keep all their work." And I just felt, so it's useful for not just bereaved parents, but also just as parents as general, and people that have lost people. Just hopefully people can take encouragement that life does go on a little bit, though it's very different, but life can go on a little bit more.
Yeah, no, that's really touching, because I have two daughters that we briefly spoke about before as well, and it's really important that for me that I keep everything that they've done, because that to me it shows like their journey and their development, and it also shows me like their personality, and that's really special, and that's something to always treasure. So I can relate to that. I know that you mentioned that you'll be creating a new book, and it's in the pipeline at present.
I'm currently starting to write my second book. It's quite a very different book than what I have done previously. The book focuses on a young, lively, comical young lady. I say no more of my memory, and it's really a children's book, but it's got lots of adventure and lots of excitement in, and it really just encapsulates, as I said, how my daughter was, but I've done it in a character, and quite comical character, and it gets up to lots of different adventures. So it's moving along, and I'm hoping to get that done by the end of the year.
Fantastic.
Get that out and published by the end of the year.
Brilliant. And for people who want to themselves, build an academy or reach out to a niche of people, whether that be empowering young women, whether that be empowering young people, what 3 key advice could you give to them?
Okay, well, I feel the first key thing would be to believe in your vision. One of the key things I've learned is not everybody will believe in what it is that you have, that passion, that vision, that goal. And unfortunately in life people let you down, friends, family, it's one of those things. But one of the key things is don't give up on your passion, don't give up on the thing that it's birth, that you feel you want to birth, the thing that you want to bring forward, the vision, the goal you have. I believe that you are given ideas, unique ideas for you to bring forth, and you have the talents within yourself, and you have the capability and the qualities to bring that forth. And as I said, some people will not believe in you, some people may not believe in it, but as long as you believe it and you believe that you can bring it forward, then that's all that matters. It's something that will keep driving you till you reach your end product and the outcome that you want, really. I would also say I believe in writing everything down. I would say to people, always walk around with a paper and pen, notepad and pen, etc. Write everything down. I remember after Ashdon, I wrote everything down. I'd have ideas, I had pictures, I had concepts, I had thoughts, and I would make sure that I wrote all those down in order to, and then eventually it then began to formulate an action plan. And very soon I was then able to kind of have something quite tangible to work from. My goal emerged from all my scribblings and all my thoughts and ideas. Something emerged, and that was an action plan that I then took forward to then start creating what you see now as the Academy.
Fantastic. I want to thank you for coming on board. And if you'd like to find out more about Trisha and also her Academy, please look at the details below. Continue to live a life that is inspirational to others. Thank you. Thank you for watching Live in Inspiration. Click here to subscribe, watch our latest videos, and follow our social media.